Hi, I'm Trudy with Heal Wellness and Therapy, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 tips to help with sleep hygiene. Now, why is that important? Well, here's the thing. We know that sleep deprivation is the one thing that is helping everybody get sicker. If we want to heal our bodies, the number one thing we need to improve is how we sleep. So, tip number one, and you may not like it, you need to be on a sleep schedule, just like you're on a work schedule. So for a sleep schedule, rather than having a wake up alarm, you need to have a go to sleep alarm. You need to go to bed every night at the same time and try to wake up every morning at the same time. If it is hard for you to think about that, here's my tip. Figure out when you need to get up in the morning, do the math, by subtracting 8 to 9 hours and begin to set your sleep alarm for that time. It's just a habit. At first, you may not be able to do it consistently, but as you work on that, what you will find is that you will be able to wake up in the morning with no alarm, rested, good non-REM and REM sleep, and a healed body. Final tip with this one, try not to nap after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Research shows us that late afternoon napping affects our ability to go to sleep, which is one reason some of us then rely on sleeping medications. Tip number 2, get regular exercise. I like to think that the acronym for HEAL is Healthy Eating Active Lifestyle, with the emphasis on active lifestyle. We know that we need 30 minutes of regular exercise every day, and that doesn't mean hitting a gym. It means moving your body and increasing your heart rate just a little tiny bit. Tip number 3, avoid smoking. And if you are a smoker, at least avoid smoking 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Smoking is a stimulant. And so smoking before bedtime actually stops you from being able to get into your initial stages of sleep. So speaking of stimulant, that brings us right along to tip number 4, avoiding caffeine. Having caffeine within 4 to 6 hours of sleeping will severely affect your ability to fall asleep. Once again, thinking that you need to rely on those sleeping medications when really all you need to do is stop the caffeine early enough in the day that it doesn't affect your ability to fall asleep. Tip number 5, avoid alcohol 4 to 6 hours before sleep. Here's the thing, a lot of us think that alcohol actually helps you sleep, the good old concept of a nightcap before you go to bed. But alcohol is actually a double-edged sword. It is a sedative, that is correct. But it is also something that will stop you from getting any healing REM sleep during the night. You see, REM sleep is when your body is nice and still and your brain is reprogramming and refreshing. Having alcohol consumption too close to nighttime will actually stop that from happening. The other reason to avoid alcohol before bedtime is it severely affects your breathing. Things like obstructive sleep apnea will limit you from having good sleep merely because you've taken something that has sedated you. Finally, with consumption of alcohol, you might have had this happen to you. If you're waking up in the middle of the night after having a couple of drinks, it's because the sedative have worn off and now you're getting stimulated. So at all costs, tip number 5 is avoid alcohol 4 to 6 hours before sleep. Tip number 6, avoid a really large meal before going to bed. So if you eat a large meal at supper time, here's the deal. Your body has to break all that down, and that takes a lot of energy, which will stop you from being able to get to sleep and rest and relax. Also, if you're a dessert person, and a lot of us are, avoid chocolate at night. Take your chocolate, move it to the beginning or the middle of the day, because chocolate is a stimulant, just like smoking, caffeine, and alcohol can be. So what would be a good dessert to have at night? Well, here's what we know. Yogurt is really high in muscle-relaxing magnesium, and cherries have melatonin in them, which helps you get to sleep. So a nice little bit of yogurt with maybe 8 to 12 cherries or comparable to that will be just the right amount of melatonin to doze you off into a nice, good slumber. Tip number 7, avoid medications that affect your sleep. Heart medications, blood pressure medications, and many asthma medications create stimulation and actually affect your ability to go into your sleep cycles. So even though you look at your prescription bottle and it says take your medication 1 time a day and doesn't define when you should take it, make sure to ask your doctor, because sometimes those blood pressure and asthma medications are really best to be taken first thing in the morning. Tip number 8, get good sun exposure. We know, just like our blood pressure in our body is part of our system, we also have sleep pressure. Now, oftentimes our doctors don't talk to us about that, but sleep pressure is a real thing. In order for your body to be able to understand its sleep pressures, which all kind of happens up here in the brain, you need to give your body sunlight so that it can differentiate from darkness. Get yourself good sunlight through the day, and at night, begin to let yourself diminish the lights so that you know it's nighttime. Tip number 9, relax and rest at night. So many of us think that relaxing and resting is just, sitting in front of a TV and binging on Netflix for hours. But here's the problem. That's stimulating, not relaxing. Find yourself things that are boring to do. Read a really boring book. Play a puzzle that is boring. Give yourself the opportunity to take a bath or a shower. Not only will that be relaxing, but it will also allow you to drop your body temperature and get it prepared for that good night's sleep. As far as gadgets are concerned, stay away from blue light. Even if we use the night mode on a lot of technical equipment, the problem is it's still suppressing our melatonin production in our body. So find ways to do activities at night away from TV screens, computer screens, and phone screens. Finally, if you go to bed and you're laying there and you're restless, and you've done everything I've already said, and it's been 30 minutes, 40 minutes, get up. Find something boring to do for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Find a yawn in your body and your system, and then lay back down and hope for it all to relax all over again. Tip number 10 is your bedroom needs to be a hibernation cave. That means dark, cool, quiet, gadget-free, but unfortunately, dog-free. So with the darkness, if your bedroom is with lights and blinds and you can't get it dark enough, oftentimes you can use a sleep mask or something to darken the room. For cold, the National Sleep Foundation recommends that your bedroom is at 65 degrees for adequate sleep through all of your phases of sleep. For quiet, if you have a lot of ambient noises out of your room, use earplugs. They will allow you to get into your sleep cycles. Keep those cell phones turned upside down so that blue light doesn't impact you. And these little things, they have to find somewhere else to sleep, not in your bed. Because every time they move, they will knock you out of your sleep cycles, stop you from getting that healing non-REM and REM sleep. And before you know it, you are sleep deprived. Well, there you have it, my top 10 tips for improving your sleep hygiene. So, if you liked this video, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. We will be more than happy to answer those. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and finally hit that little bell so that you'll be notified of the next YouTube video that we make. Thanks so much. Have a great day.